So I am back with another collection update. I have over 38 titles to go over with you guys today. So we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back to Pot's Movie Dungeon. Alright y'all, so welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. We're going to go ahead and get started. So basically in this collection update video, I have got a pretty good mix. I've got my pickups from Ronin Flicks that I picked up in their latest sale. And some of you may know that I'm starting to collect A24 titles. And I have got about 7 or 8 titles from A24 that I have picked up, starting to collect those movies. And everything else, guys, is just some random pickups. I have some imprint titles. I got a new steelbook. Like I said, guys, a pretty good mix. But guys, if y'all have been here before, I really appreciate all the support. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time here, I do invite you to please consider subscribing to the channel. We have a lot of collection updates. We talk a lot of things movies here. I mainly collect boutique titles. We have live streams, movie reviews, you name it, guys. If you enjoy physical media, this is the place to be. And also, guys, if you enjoy this video, please consider hitting that like button. They say it helps the channel, but regardless whether it does or not, I do appreciate it. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to go through my titles that I picked up from Ronin Flicks. But they had a sale earlier this month, and I was able to grab 8 titles from the sale. So we'll get started with the first one, and this is one that I was super excited about. I'm sure most of y'all that's been watching this channel probably know by now that my favorite movie of all times is Jaws. I absolutely love Jaws. I love animal attack movies. I love a shark movie. And when I seen this one there, now Ronin Flicks, when you go to their main page during the sale, they had different kind of packages you could get. And one package they had was called the Shark Package. And there was just 2 random shark movies in this package. Movies that I had never heard of before. But I had to grab that first. Anytime I see a shark movie that looks interesting, I have to pick it up. So guys, the first one I picked up is a movie called Shark's Treasure. And this one looked really interesting. I'm just going to read what it says across the top here. I'm just going to read that to you guys. It says, the shark footage in this motion picture is 100% real. No trick photography, no mechanical models, no miniatures were used. This film was made at great risk of life and limb. For the first time on the screen, you will see the total shock of the most sensational shark fight ever filmed. And it's signed by the director. So, I was on board as soon as I read that, guys. It could be a gimmick. Now, this movie came out in 1975, the same year as Jaws. But one interesting thing about this, according to the director, he says he came up with the idea of the film in 1969, but he could not raise the finances until after Jaws came out and became a hit. I would rather have had the field to myself without Jaws, he said. Which makes total sense, because I'm sure with the release of Jaws, this movie coming out the same year as Jaws, I'm sure it had very little chance to be a success. And one person that stars in this movie that I thought was kind of cool was, if I'm going to say his name right, it's Yaphet Kotto. Now, Yaphet Kotto, you probably know him as Parker from the first Alien movie. From what I read, he plays a very similar role in this movie here. He plays kind of a blue-collar, mechanic type. He works down at the bottom of the boat, repairing the boat. Real similar to his character in Aliens a few years later. But other than that, guys, I didn't really recognize anybody else in the cast. So I'm very excited to check this one out. I did watch the trailer, and the real shark attacks, they are real shark attacks, but it's basically just a bunch of people at the bottom of the ocean aggravating the piss out of the sharks, and the sharks attacking. So I don't think the shark attacks footage is going to be all that, but that being said, I think it'll be interesting. I'm going to check it out. So the second shark movie I picked up in the Ronin Flicks sale is a movie called Tentura Tiger Shark. Now, I wasn't quite sure how to pronounce that, but I watched the trailer, and that's how they pronounced it in the trailer. And this also goes by Tentura Killer Shark, but I guess over here we got it as Tiger Shark. I don't know, 2 different names. A lot of these old movies, guys, for whatever reason, went by different various names in different countries. It all gets kind of confusing. But this movie came out in 1977, 2 years after Jaws, and there's a group of movies that I looked up that came out trying to get the success of Jaws. And this was one of those movies. This movie here was directed by Rene Cardona Jr. It says 2 shark hunters flirt with an attractive British lady while hunting down a large tiger shark terrorizing the Mexican East Coast. Now, this movie had 2 cuts. One cut was heavily censored by the Mexican government when it came out. There was another cut that, of course, left in the more explicit scenes. A couple interesting notes about this movie here is this was the film debut of Priscilla Barnes. I'm going to pop her picture up here. Priscilla Barnes, you probably going to know her from Terry, from Three's Company. She also played in The Devil's Rejects. So, and she played in a lot of other stuff, guys. That's just what I recognized her from. But she has a very small scene at the very end of this, and that was supposedly her film debut. Now, one thing about this movie I thought was kind of funny was they kind of, market this in the movie as this tiger shark is one of the biggest tiger sharks ever found. But the shark they used for the live shark footage was only like a 5-foot tiger shark. I guess for like trick photography or whatever, they tried to make the shark look bigger in the movie. But in actuality, they did use a real shark for some of the underwater scenes, but it was a 5-foot tiger shark that they were just pissing off to, I guess, try to get him to attack. Also, there is an actor in this movie that his name is Hugo Stiglitz. And if that name sounds familiar to you, Quentin Tarantino is a really big fan of this movie. And he actually used that actor's name as inspiration in his movie Inglourious Bastards. And this character here, the actor's name is Til Schweiger. I think is how you pronounce it. And his name in the movie was Hugo Stiglitz. These older movies like this, Quentin Tarantino seems to be a fan of most of them. He actually showed this movie at a film festival, back in the day. But so yeah, anytime Quentin Tarantino is a fan of a movie, I'm a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino. It always has my attention. It's always kind of neat to watch these old movies and see where Quentin Tarantino might have picked out little things to make some of his great films. So just something that I enjoy, guys. It's something I find interesting. But this one here does come with a really nice slipcover. But there is the inside artwork. And there's the back. So I watched the trailer, guys. It looked pretty damn cheesy. But it's a shark movie. And there's the reversible artwork, just like the slipcover. I do know that I like me a shark movie. But I'll go back real fast and show you all the inside artwork of this other one, guys. I apologize. There's the front. There's the back. And you guys didn't miss much. You got some disc art. No reversible on this one here. Alright. So moving on to the next one here, we have Death Wish 3 with Charles Bronson. Also with a really nice slipcover. Now, I just recently picked up Death Wish 2. I pre-ordered Death Wish 2 from Vinegar Syndrome. And as soon as I knew that was coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, I decided to go and pick this one up. I want to say that I own Death Wish Part 1 just on regular studio release. I'll have to go back and check. And I think there's like 5 of these, if I remember correctly. This one here came out in 1985, and it was directed by Michael Winter. And of course, it stars the great Charles Bronson, Ed Lauder. Alex Winter is in this. You guys know him from Bill and Ted. So you don't see him in a whole lot of stuff. I know him from of course, the Bill and Ted movies and Lost Boys. Guys, as far as the inside artwork on this one, you don't get anything. You get some disc art there. Nothing on the inside. But really excited to have this one, guys. I'm a huge Charles Bronson fan. And between Kino and Ronin Flicks, some of these other companies, I'm picking up a lot of great Charles Bronson titles and very excited about that. Alright. So next up, this movie was recommended to me by Brian Goes Blue. And it's got a really cool slipcover, guys. And that is called Shredder. Show you that art there. And there's the back. This movie came out in 2001. And it was directed by Greg Husson. It says, at an exclusive, secluded North American ski resort up on Mount Rocky Summit, brutal slashings, severing, and beheading on a group of teenagers are taking place and are believed to be the work of a mysterious skier dressed in black. Ronin Flicks is doing a pretty good job with their slipcovers. So pretty happy about that, guys. I'll show y'all the inside of it. Same artwork. And you do get a reversible on this one here. I'll show you the reversible artwork there. Definitely more of a fan of the other artwork. And this one here, you actually do get a poster. Now, I guess you would call this a poster. It's a very, very tiny poster. Just to give you all some size comparison there. It's not a very big poster at all. But, you know, it's we're collectors, guys. We'll take what we can get. But, yeah, that's Shredder. I don't know anything about it. I know Brian said it was a pretty good time. It's got probably one of the shittiest taglines. The tagline is Death to Snowboarders. Yeah. So, I'm sure it's going to be fun, guys. I like me a good slasher movie. And especially ones I've never seen. I've seen a lot of the slasher movies. One of my favorite genres. So next up, we got some Fulci goodness. We have The Gates of Hell, directed by, of course, the great Lucio Fulci. So I will show you guys the inside artwork and the reversible. And, of course, you have I guess that's the newly commissioned artwork there. And that is the original artwork. It says, a reporter and a psychic race to close the gates of hell after the suicide of a clergyman caused them to open, allowing the dead to rise from their graves. And by the way, this is a Scorpion release that was sold through Ronin Flicks. I'm still relatively new to Ronin Flicks, so it looks to me like they sell a lot of other companies' titles, whatever. This is actually a Scorpion release. And I believe Shredder's also a Scorpion release. And Death Wish is also a Scorpion release. So all three of these are Scorpion releases, guys. But I got them in the Ronin sale. Alright. And actually, Tintaro is also a Scorpion release. And Shark's Treasure, also a Scorpion release. So, don't understand quite how things work over at Ronin Flicks. Like I said, even though I got all these from the Ronin Flicks sale, these are all Scorpion releases. And this next one is another Scorpion release. And this stars one of my favorite actors. Now, I just recently rewatched, first time I've seen it in years, the Criterion release with James Caan, a movie called Thief. And if you guys have not seen Thief with James Caan, it is an absolute fantastic movie, guys. So after watching that, and I started going through this Ronin sale, they had two really good James Caan movies on here that I wanted to have in my collection. And the first one is a movie called Rollerball. I'm sure many of you have probably heard of this film before. There's the back. But this movie came out in 1975, and of course it stars one of my favorites, James Caan. It also stars John Houseman, Maude Adams, John Beck. But it says, in a corporate-controlled future, an ultraviolet sport known as rollerball represents the world. And one of his powerful athletes is out to defy those who want him out of the game. Directed by Norman Jewison. I'm sure I've seen this at some point, guys. I have no memory of it at all, but it's got James Caan in it. And I'm a huge James Caan fan. Misery, Godfather. I've recently started to kind of get into some of his lesser-known films. I'm going to say lesser-known to myself. And this is definitely one of those movies. But, yeah, and Thief, I hadn't seen Thief since I was a kid. And I was super excited to check that one out and kind of fell in love with it all over again. So I've really been big into James Caan here lately. And so I was glad to pick that up. The second James Caan movie I picked up in the Ronin sale is a movie called The Killer Elite. Now, guys, this movie here has a fantastic cast. It stars James Caan and Robert Duvall. And this movie came out in 1975. It was directed by Sam Peckinpah. No idea. I'll show you guys the artwork on this one here. And guys, I'm telling you, I'm sucking today. I didn't show y'all the artwork of the inside of Rollerball. But, guys, not much to it. I do apologize. Come on, Pops, get it together. So we're going to look at the inside of Killer Elite before I forget this one. And just like the other guys, nothing really to look at. Got a little disc art. That's about it. But one thing I could say is they use these heavier duty cases. I wish they wasn't blue. I wish they were clear, but or even black. But good solid cases, guys. No eco cases. All right. The last movie that I picked up from Ronin Flicks is a movie called, and this was also recommended by Brian Goes Blue, and it is a movie called Human Experiments. And there's the back. And this movie stars Linda Hayes and Jeffrey Lewis. Now, for those of you that do not know, Jeffrey Lewis is Juliette Lewis's daddy. He is the guy that stars with Clint Eastwood in the Any Which Way But Loose movies. And he was also in Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme as his uncle that raised him. He was a great character actor, and I didn't know actually until recently that he was Juliette Lewis's daddy. Just never knew that. So that was a fun fact that I learned recently. But this movie came out in 1979 and directed by Gregory Goodall. And this also stars a lady named Ellen Travolta. Now, you recognize the last name? Yes. This is John Travolta's sister, one of his siblings. So, kind of interesting. And I'm going to throw a picture of her up here. She really resembles John Travolta, I think. So that's kind of neat. She also starred in Grease. I'm not sure what character she played in Grease, but Ellen Travolta. Didn't realize he had any siblings that acted, so that's kind of neat. It says here, a demented Prison doctor performs gruesome shock therapy experiments on inmates. Yeah, sounds like my kind of movie, guys. But before I forget, let's show you the inside. And this one here, you do get the nice clear case. There's the back. And we get some nice reversible artwork. So there is the disc art. Make sure this is safe for YouTube. There is the reversible artwork. And I'm assuming the new artwork. So, one thing I can say about Ronin Flicks, Scorpion Releasing, whatever you want to call it, yeah, all these cases, the packaging, pretty top notch, guys. Kind of a fan. So, I am excited to dig into these guys, but yeah, that is what I picked up in the Ronin Flicks sale. Not a bad little haul. Well, these are all really good prices, guys. So moving on, these are going to be some fairly random pickups. Now, except for these first two. These first two are some Scream Factory titles that, unfortunately, I got in a few days after I filmed my last Scream Factory collection update. So I decided to go in and include these two titles in with this collection update here. And the first one I picked up was Fear No Evil. And I've never seen this before, but it looks like a pretty good time. It says a high school student turns out to be a personification of Lucifer. Two archangels in human form take him on. A movie came out in 1981, directed by Frank LaLoggia, and I don't really recognize anybody in the cast. Now, I do see that this was the film debut of Elizabeth Hoffman. Now, Elizabeth Hoffman, the only thing that I really recognized her from, just kind of scanning through this, the movie's Dante's Peak. She was the grandma lady that got melted in the lava. Spoiler alert. But she's been in some other stuff as well. Actually, quite a bit of stuff. But this was her first role, and that's about as. That's kind of a deep cut, guys. But that's the only person in the cast I really recognized. But I'll show you guys what it looks like here. There's the front, and there's the back. There's the disc art, and no reversible, but we do have a nice shot from the film there in the back. So yeah, this is another standalone release from Scream Factory. Now this is a new release from Scream Factory that just came out, and that is a movie called The Ice Demon. Really cool looking slipcover. This is a newer movie, came out in 2021, and this movie was directed by, has two directors, Ivan Kaptanov and Cindy Robinson. It says, a man's sudden return home in a coma years after he's gone missing, throwing his family's life into disarray, as his homecoming brings with it some terrifying and supernatural goings-on. So this is a Russian production that was released October 28th, 2021 over in Russia. So yeah, so some good Russian horror, guys. So we'll see. But yeah, looks interesting, guys. Looks interesting. All right, we're going to move on to the next one here, and this one here is one that all my buddies are picking this up. Johnny over at Johnny's Boutique Podcast, Brad, everybody's picking this one up, guys. So I had to grab it, and I've never owned any of these movies. I've only seen the first one, and that is the Basket Case Trilogy. I'm trying to see who released this. Okay, it looks like Second Sight. Looks like Second Sight put this out. Really nice black case, one of the thicker cases. And I'll show you the inside, guys. And it just has the, the movies like on the little flip thing there. So really cool looking release, guys. I'm real big fan of these black cases. But I will see if we got any reversible artwork on this, and of course we don't. But guys, like I said, I've only seen the first movie, and if you guys have seen the first movie, it's really hard to explain just how batshit crazy it is. But from what I've heard, it just gets crazier with part 2 and 3. But part 2 came out in 1982, and it says a young man carrying a big basket that contains his extremely deformed, formerly conjoined twin brother seeks vengeance on the doctors who separated them against their will. Part 2 came out in 1990, and it says Dwayne and his basket-bound mutant brother are taken in by a secret home for wayward freaks with journalists hot on their tail. And part 3 came out in 91. It says Dwayne recovers from his delusional breakdown to find his freakish basket-bound brother, Belil, I'm probably saying that wrong, will soon become a father. But not everything is joyous, as the once tight-knit brothers no longer seem to trust each other. You know, from what I've heard, I was talking to my buddy Brad about this, and he says as these movies go on, they get more and more batshit crazy. So, super, super excited to check these out, guys. I love that artwork on that cover there, and I am glad to finally have these in my collection. Alright, now moving on, and this is a damn shame, but this is one of my favorite movies of all times. Definitely in my top 20. I know a lot of people hate on this movie because it's so unrealistic, but you know, it's a movie, guys. This is an action movie. You have to go in, you have to turn your brain off. This movie has got a fantastic cast. It has a director that also gets a lot of hate, but I mean, he's a director that has directed some of my favorite movies. And guys, if you hadn't already guessed it, I'm talking about the movie Armageddon. Now, I cannot believe that I did not own this movie on physical media. I know I have at one point. I don't know what happened to it, but I had to rebuy this movie. And guys, when I went out to grab this movie, I didn't even realize the Criterion had released it, but I found a used copy of the Criterion DVD collection of Armageddon. And this one here, guys, is just a basic, studio release. You're not going to get much with it, just basic stuff. No features, nothing like that. Well, you do get the music video, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, by Aerosmith, a theatrical trailer and a teaser trailer. But I am a big Criterion fan, and even though this did come a little beat up, I am glad to have this in my collection. It's just an old DVD Criterion. There's the inside, and here is like a flip card with some info about the movie. So, a very early Criterion release. So, really excited to have these movies back in my collection, guys. I mean, what can I say about Armageddon? This is a movie I can go into a deep dive review of, because I feel like it deserves more respect than it gets. People say it's unrealistic, it's stupid. Of course it is, guys. It's a movie. It's an action movie. It's a Michael Bay action movie. But, like I said, you go in there, you get you a thing of popcorn, you turn off your brain, and the back and forth between the cast alone is enjoyable. I love, end of the world disaster movies. And as far as my money goes, this is one of my favorites. But I will defend this movie to my dying day, guys. I love this movie. I got the damn poster up on my wall. I'm a huge fan. Anybody that wants to debate that, you know where to find me. Anyway, guys, enough about that. Alright, moving on. This is a movie that I had not seen, and I heard that this was a really, really good release. I'm a big fan of Sam Rockwell, and for whatever reason, I'd never seen this. But I went out looking for it, and I was able to find it on eBay with a slipcover, and that is the movie Moon. Of course, like I said, with Sam Rockwell, and I was glad to be able to grab this with a slip on 4K. This movie came out in 2009. It was directed by Duncan Jones, and it stars Sam Rockwell and Kevin Spacey. This is astronaut Sam Bell has a personal encounter toward the end of a 3-year stint on the moon, where he, working alongside his computer, Gertie, sends back to Earth parcels of a resource that has helped diminish our planet's power problems. Definitely excited to check it out, and this was recommended by some people that I really trust their opinions, and so it was enough for me to do a blind buy on it, guys. So I'm going to be checking that one out real soon. Alright, moving on, this is another movie that was recommended to me, and if memory serves, guys, again, this is recommended to me by Brian Goes Blue. Brian Goes Blue, he's a bottomless pit of movie knowledge. And anytime a movie comes up or anything's talked about, he has some great recommendations. And so I always appreciate when Brian recommends a movie, and most of the time I usually pick them up. And this is one of those cases, guys. It's a movie called Sunshine, directed by Danny Boyle. And it stars Cillian Murphy, Rose Byrne, Chris Evans. Let's see who else is in this that I recognize. Probably leaving somebody out, guys, but that's the main cast. And it says here, a team of international astronauts are sent on a dangerous mission to reignite the dying sun with a nuclear fission bomb in 2057. Yeah, but really excited to check it out, guys. I mean, Danny Boyle's a great director. The 28 Days Later, Trainspotting, list goes on. Excited to check that one out. Alright, now this next one here, I am super excited about. Almost did just a standalone video on this one, but I decided to go ahead and just throw it in this collection update. Now, I know this movie is supposed to be getting a 4K release later this year, so they say. This was announced. This was rumored to get a 4K. I want to say last year, but we never got it. So I mean, fingers crossed. If the 4K comes out, I'll definitely double dip on this movie here. It's one of my favorites. That is the German digibook of The Hitcher, and of course, over there it's called Hitcher, Der Highway Killer. So I'm guessing that's Hitcher, the Highway Killer. But man, I tell you, these German digibooks are next level. It's really hard to describe. It's kind of a squishy feel. Not really much of a pop snock on that one, but show you guys the inside. You get a disc there, really nice book, and these books are attached, so it actually feels like an actual book. The book itself is actually attached to the digibook. And I'll show you guys just a couple shots of the inside there. And I am a really, really big fan of this movie, guys. So I'm really excited to grab this. Now, there's the back picture that I remember from the classic poster. One thing about this release I thought was weird. On the front there, you do get the Blu-ray of The Hitcher. And I flipped over to the back, and there is 2 different movies there. I'll just take these out and show you guys. You have a movie called Inferno Thunderbolt, and you have a movie called, I can't read the first part, but it's called The Catcher. Yeah, I have no idea about these movies, guys. They're both DVDs, and I thought at first that this was a mistake, that I was supposed to get maybe some extra bonus discs, and I got these instead. But I reached out to Johnny Walker, who I know just recently got this release, and he had the same movies in his. So I'm assuming maybe these are just some other movies, some bonus movies they threw in from maybe the same director, same production company. I'm not real sure. But yeah, super nice release, guys. The packaging is top notch. Now, unfortunately, the book is all in German, so I ain't gonna have any luck reading the book. But yeah, glad to have it, guys. And even if the 4K comes out next month, later this year, whatever, this packaging is so unique and so cool looking. It's definitely, I'm still glad to have it in my collection. All right. Now, this next movie here has got kind of a funny story to it. Me and my wife were down watching the UFC fight last past Saturday. And we're all sitting there. We're in a big room with some friends, and we're watching the UFC fight. And my wife, and she likes to, and she's sitting there watching the fight, supposedly watching the fight. She's on her phone, usually on Amazon or looking up shoes or whatever. And she's famous for sending me links, whatever. She's like, hey, buy me these shoes or buy me this, whatever. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching the fight. I'm partying a little bit with some friends, and she sends me a link to buy her some shoes. So I got the shoes. I'm sitting there, halfway paying attention to the fight. I ain't feeling any pain at this point, and I buy the shoes. Well, the shoes come in yesterday. And when she opens up the box of shoes in the same package, whatever, there is a movie stuck in there. Well, I guess this is my first drunk buy of a movie, I guess you would call it. But I have no memory of buying this. I had to go back and look at my Amazon recent purchases to make sure I really bought this, because I had no memory of buying it. But I guess I drunk bought the Leprechaun 7 movie collection. And guys, I swear to you, I had no memory at all of buying this movie. I got a pretty good laugh about it, guys. I mean, I don't hate the Leprechaun movies. I just didn't own them, and it was nowhere on my radar of picking it up. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it was there maybe as an advertisement, and I just kind of threw it in the cart, and who knows. But yeah, this is definitely going to be my first drunk movie purchase. But I'm sure a lot of you guys probably own this. You got the flippers on the inside. But this one has Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4 in space, Leprechaun 5 in the hood, Leprechaun back to the hood, and Leprechaun, I'm blind, guys. I guess it says Leprechaun Origins, I guess. I think I've only seen the first 2 when I've seen in the hood. So yeah, guys, I ain't got nothing for you. I guess maybe this is the first time that I really do have a problem buying physical media. Now I'm doing it without even knowing I'm doing it. I don't know. But let me know down below if you guys ever drunk bought a movie. Yeah. I got issues, guys. I'll admit it. All right. So this next one is going to be the only steelbook in this update video. And I know my buddy Brad is a super fan of this movie. And I didn't own it. I think I had it on Vudu, but I never owned it on physical media. And this was a Best Buy exclusive. I'll just show it to you guys. And of course, how those go. Those are sold out. Nice slipcover. But I actually found this on eBay really, really cheap, which is surprising. But So I had to pick it up. You know, I am a fan of this movie. I've only watched it once. I got it on. I think I rented it shortly after it came out. But yeah, I grew up on Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd growing up, whatever. So I was a little leery about this being a remake. But after watching it, I'm a huge fan of this movie, and I'm really excited to check this out again on 4K. So yeah, this was a recommendation by Brad. He wanted me and Johnny and all of us to pick this up so we can kind of do a group watch. But yeah, I'm happy to have that, guys. It's gonna be a fun time to revisit this movie. But that is Dredd on 4K Steelbook. All right. Now, you go back and look at some of my older videos, guys, and I've recently this year, I guess it was this year, maybe it was in the end of last year, I decided I was going to start collecting all the MVD rewinds, and I'm glad I did. I'm a big fan of a lot of those movies. I haven't had a chance to watch them all yet, but most of them are movies I've watched back in the day that I did enjoy. The only thing I was missing from that collection was a slipcover on one of the releases, and that was a slipcover for the movie Nemesis. So I found this for a really good price on eBay. Now, unfortunately, I had to buy the movie again because, of course, it came with a slip on eBay, and I already owned the movie. So now I have 2 copies of this movie. If anybody needs a copy of it, you just hit me up, let me know. But yeah, that's Nemesis MVD Rewind. So I now have all the MVD rewinds with slipcover. So I'm very excited about that. So now as they come out, I can just stay on top of it. A very fun line, guys. A very easy line to collect. These releases are not that expensive, especially if you wait for a sale. I really enjoy collecting these. They got good transfers, a good amount of special features. So yeah, I'm glad to finally find this one slipcover that was eluding me. So I can now say that I have all those. All right, guys, if you hadn't judged me up to this point, this is going to be the part of the video that you're going to do that. And I was on a live stream the other night with my buddies. You know, Brian Goes Blue, Johnny Walker, Johnny's Boutique Podcast, and Brad over at Category 3 and me. And actually, we were recommending some movies to each other. And I had recommended a movie to Johnny called Gator. It's a movie with Burt Reynolds in it. Well, somebody had said something in the chat about a movie called Gator Bait. Now, I had never heard of this movie, Gator Bait, but I think Johnny had heard of it. But he said that Joe Bob over at the last drive-in, I want to say, had done a special on Gator Bait. And so he was familiar with it. He said it looked like a good time. The guy in the chat, I don't remember who it was. I do apologize. Please leave a comment down below if you remember who actually recommended this. But it was very interesting to me, and I went out there to look for it. It didn't have a Blu-ray release, but it did have a DVD release. And they were dirt cheap, guys. And when I went out there to look at it, there was actually a Gator Bait and a Gator Bait 2. So I actually went out and bought the 2 DVDs. So I haven't watched these. Actually, I haven't even opened this one yet. So we'll open it real fast, guys, and we will. I don't think there's anything on the inside more than just a disc. But there's the first one, guys. That is Gator Bait. Yeah, this is going to be a 110% blind buy. And yeah, it's just a DVD, guys. I don't have many DVDs in my collection, but yeah, I got a few more now. So there's the disc art, and it says, "They killed her kin, they burned her out, they made her a savage. She gave them revenge, Cajun style." And it says Gator Bait, the Director's Special Edition. So bonus features. It says here, it says Gator Bait plus a bonus. You get something called Gator Bait Exposed. So yeah, DVD Dolby Digital. So guys, I think this is going to be a blast. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually looking forward to checking this one out. All right, so moving on to the sequel. This is the Director's Special Edition of Gator Bait 2, A Cajun Justice. Or, I'm blind, guys, sorry. It says Gator Bait 2, Cajun Justice. It says they took her by force, stole her innocence, made her a savage. And at the top it says half animal and all woman. So that's Gator Bait 2. Movie so good they had to make a sequel. And there's the back. Guys, like I said, don't judge me. I love getting recommendations for people that watch our live streams. So anybody that watches our live streams, please keep these recommendations coming. Most of the time I'm going to grab them. But yeah, those are 2 that, yeah, those are going to be fun watches, guys. So moving on, guys. The next one I picked up is the latest Paramount Presents. And this is another line that I started collecting last year. and I finally got caught up on all of these. And this is the latest Paramount Presents, and that is Ordinary People. This has a really great cast. It stars Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, and Timothy Hutton. This movie came out in 1980, and this is a movie that I do recognize from back in the day. I would have been 9 when this movie came out. So this is a movie that probably my mom and sister would have went and go see. So even though I do remember the movie, I've never seen it. But it says the accidental death of the older son of an affluent family deeply strains the relationships among the bitter mother, the good-natured father, and the guilt-ridden younger son. This was directed by Robert Redford. He's a good director. And this stars Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, Judd Hirsch. I love him in Independence Day as the dad. Timothy Hutton, Emmett Walsh, Elizabeth McGovern. It also stars Adam Baldwin. I'm a big Adam Baldwin fan. So yeah, this is really solid cast. I'm really excited to check this one out, and I feel like this is one that's probably just eluded me for years because, like I said, when it came out, I was just too young to give a damn about it. I'll give you a shot of the great artwork, guys. I love the way Paramount Presents does these posters. You actually build it into the case. I know you guys have seen these, but they're still cool to me. I love the way they do that, and the packaging on these things are just top notch. Really have enjoyed collecting these movies here. A lot of my favorites are included in the line. So there's the disc art, and with these here, you really don't get reversible. You usually get something like that. But yeah, the few of these I've watched so far, on the Paramount Presents line, the transfers are fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about it. But as far as the special features go, you get a couple new documentaries and the theatrical trailer. So yeah, guys, let me know down below if you've seen this. I'm actually really excited to check that out. A lot of my favorites are starring in that, so that's good. All right. So, guys, moving on, and I told y'all in the beginning that this was kind of a wide array of movies, and I'm going to show y'all this, but don't get too excited yet. I got a slipcover for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, my buddy, Side Hustle Cinema, made this for me, and he did, I'll show y'all the side there, he did an absolute fantastic job on this slipcover. So, Side Hustle, thank you so much, because this slipcover is really, really hard to get. But, I actually don't have the movie yet. The movie is coming in from Kino. He sent me like a Dollar Tree movie just so the case wouldn't get messed up. So thank you for this movie. I might check it out. Who knows? Might be a good time. So don't know nothing about it, guys. Not really including that in my collection update, but that's my dollar movie I got with my slipcover from Side Hustle. But I'm really glad to have this because I did pre-order the Fistful of Dollars and a few dollars more, and I went ahead and picked up The Good and Bad, the Ugly on 4K. Whenever I seen that I was able to get this slip. So yeah, very excited, guys, to have that. Those 3 movies are going to be great in 4K. I do got that box set back here behind me, but anything from Clint Eastwood that comes out in 4K, I'm grabbing it. All right, now this next one here, this was a German release, and this also includes a slipcover that Side Hustle made for me. I'll just show y'all the slipcover first. That is the movie Greenland. I want to say we only got a Blu-ray release of this over in the States. But this was a German release, and over there you get a 4K of it. So what Side Hustle did was he ordered some of these 4Ks, and he was nice enough to sell me one of them. And he also made me a slip to go with it. So again, Side Hustle, thank you so much for that. But there's the artwork, guys. And like I said, this is from Germany. And pretty plain on the inside, you do get a 4K and a Blu-ray disc. And let's see if they include any kind of reversible. No, it looks like you get just the artwork with that green rating sticker on it. And then you get a side that doesn't have the sticker. So we're definitely going to turn it over to the one that doesn't have the sticker. But this was a movie that I watched on Netflix, and I was a big fan of it. Like I said earlier, my Armageddon. Like I said earlier when I was talking about Armageddon, I really love disaster, asteroid, end of the world type movies. And this movie was done really, really well, guys. If you haven't seen Greenland, to me, this is probably one of Gerard Butler's best performances, other than maybe 300. But, just a fantastic movie. Had a real good time with that. And Side Hustle, thank you for the slip. Really excited to have that on physical media, especially in 4K. All right. Now, this next one here, don't tell nobody. And I don't get these very often. But, look behind me, guys. I feel like I support enough. This is the only one that I have in my collection, if memory serves. But, I got a release of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Netflix movie that got put out on a bootleg. So there's the inside, guys. Nothing to it. I have not watched this yet, so I can't say what the transfer looks like. But you know, before bootleg, I mean, this thing looks all right, and hopefully the transfer on it looks okay. And let's just say that Side Hustle may need a slip to go with it as well. Hope that don't give too much away. But yeah, guys, I'm real happy to have this. I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, and I really enjoyed the new movie. Things about it I didn't like, but overall, I was a fan of it, and it's one that I will go back and rewatch. So glad to have this here. You know, Netflix, I pay for your service. You know, you've heard of people talk about this. I pay for your service. If you put this thing out on physical media, I'm going to buy them. But, you know, I look at it like this. I pay a monthly fee to you guys. I have for years. I support physical media, obviously. So, you know, throw me a bone. I'm going to buy that one. It's okay. I don't feel too bad about it. All right. So, these next 5 movies we have here are going to all be from Imprint. And, guys, Imprint is a label that I started collecting not that long ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I am a huge fan of this company. Their packaging, the transfers, the movies, the special features. Guys, I have nothing bad to say about this company so far. I have probably about maybe 15, 20 releases from them now, and every single one has been top notch, and I'm always glad to pick one up. This is an Australian company, and it's pretty expensive to get them from over there, but luckily Orbit DVD, a pretty good amount of their titles, always in stock. With the exception of one, everything that I've got from Imprint has all come from Orbit DVD. So if you're interested in any of these titles, or you want to know more about what they have to offer, go over to Orbit DVD and look up Imprint. And guys, I'm telling you, check some of these out. The transfers on these are really good. But this one here is a new release they just put out, and that's called Johnny Got His Gun. Now, this is a movie I had never seen. This is an old black and white movie that stars Jason Robarbs. Now, the only thing that I knew about this movie, and the reason why I was so excited when I heard this was getting a release, is if you guys remember the old Metallica video, One, their song One, that came out, I don't know now, but maybe late 80s, early 90s, whenever it was. It was a great video. You guys can look it up on YouTube. But just go out there and just search for Metallica One. Basically, the movie that they used for that video, the movie scenes they used for that video, was taken from this movie. And I had looked that up years and years ago, so I've known that for a while. But I had never took the time to actually watch the movie. But just as soon as I seen that this was available, I scooped it up right away, guys. I've yet to watch it yet. I've only had it for a couple of days now. But if you guys are interested in this movie here at all, I would recommend just go out to YouTube and just type in Metallica One. A Metallica One video, and you'll see that pretty much the entire video is just shots from this movie. And I tell you, it's intense. From what I know about it, this kid goes off to war, and he gets, I think he steps on a landmine or gets blown up somehow. He loses his arms, he loses his legs, the ability to see, the ability to speak, and I think it's pretty much just him, dealing with that after he comes back from the war. But yeah, the Metallica One song to those clips from the movie, it'll get your attention. So yeah, I'm really excited to check that out, guys. And I don't know if it's a good movie or not. I mean, I'm hoping it is, but it'll be neat to finally watch it after watching that video for so many years. So this next one, a good buddy of mine, Ryan, actually recommended this movie, and me and him watched it probably, 5 or 6 months ago. This thing has got a loaded cast. One thing about this movie here is you're going to see Keanu Reeves play an asshole. Now, most people know that in real life, Keanu Reeves is probably one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. That's what everybody always says. And all the movies that he's in, he always seems to play a nice guy. Even in John Wick, he's the lovable guy. He's the badass. He's going to kick your ass. Don't mess with his dog. But Keanu Reeves is always somebody you root for. Well, this movie here, he's an asshole. You're not going to like him. It's a very strange role for Keanu Reeves, but it also is very intriguing. But that is a movie called The Gift. And this is another Imprint title. And guys, I'll tell you what, before we do that, let me go ahead and show you the inside. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going through a lot of titles here, and I'm forgetting to do this. I didn't show you all the inside of Johnny Got His Gun. And we will carry on with that other one here in just a minute. I'll show you real fast. There's the inside. And there's the inside artwork. And there's a shot of the reversible. All right, guys, we're going to move on. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to... A lot of movies to go over, guys. All right. Now back to the gift. So, the gift. I'll show you there on the back. There's a shot of Keanu Reeves. He just kind of plays a, you know, I don't want to spoil it for nobody. Just go in and watch it. It was very, very interesting to watch him play that kind of character. But this movie stars Kate Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, Keanu Reeves, Katie Holmes, Greg Kinnear, and Hilary Swank. Oh, and by the way, it's also directed by Sam Raimi. But yeah, me and my buddy Ryan, we watched this, like I said, about 5 or 6 months ago, and it blew me away. It was a great, great movie. And so if you guys haven't checked it out, very entertaining movie. I don't want to spoil anything. You guys go in and just kind of watch it blind. I wouldn't watch too many trailers or anything. But yeah, I'm a big fan. And when I seen Imprint had put this out, yeah, I scooped it up, guys. So real glad to have this in my collection, and I'm excited to go back and give this a rewatch. Yeah, this is a good title, guys. A lot of fun. All right, that is the gift. All right, now this next one here, when I ordered this from Orbit, one of the Imprint titles, it's a movie called Ned Kelly, and I thought that I was getting the 2003 Ned Kelly that stars Heath Ledger and Orlando Bloom. But once I got it in and realized, and I actually paid attention to what I was buying, this is the original, and didn't even know there was an original of this movie, that came out in 1970, starring Mick Jagger. So yeah, I did not know that that Ned Kelly, the other Ned Kelly movie with Heath Ledger, was actually a remake. But live and learn. So there's a shot of the back. And I'm going to go and show you all the inside artwork now, just so I don't forget. There's your disc art. And there's a shot from the inside. It says the impoverished son of Irish immigrants is pushed by wrongful police persecution into becoming Australia's most notorious bushranger. I enjoyed the 2003 from what I remember of it, so I'm excited to check this one out. I had seen Mick Jagger in something else, guys. I could look it up, but I don't quite remember what it was. It was a movie with him and Emilio Estevez. It was like a race car time travel movie of some kind. I don't remember what the hell it was called. I'm sure somebody can let me know down in the comments. But I remember Mick Jagger being in that. But all right, moving on, guys. Now I had said earlier in the video that I was trying to pick up some titles by James Caan. That I really enjoyed that movie Thief. And when I was looking at some Imprint releases, I found this one here, and it's called Lady in a Cage. And this is actually James Caan's first movie. So I had to pick it up just to kind of check it out just for that reason. So if you guys know anything about this, please let me know. This was solely got this because James Caan was in it. It just says she was caged in a nightmare of greed, bestiality, and murder. But this movie came out in 1964. Let's see who else stars in this movie here. You have Olivia de Havilland. Don't know who that is. And then the second cast is James Caan. Jennifer Billingsley. Not seeing anybody else. But yeah, guys, don't know nothing about it. James Caan fan is the reason why I got it. So I'm going to kind of have me a James Caan marathon, and I thought it would be kind of neat to see the first thing he's ever starred in. So I grabbed Lady in a Cage from Imprint. Alright, the last Imprint title I got, and it's a movie called The Out-of-Towners. And it stars Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis. And this is a Neil Simon movie. But you know, I was on the Orbit site, and I was going through their Imprint titles, and this is one that after I read the synopsis of it, I said, you know, I kind of want to watch that. And so I decided to pick it up. I know it's a classic. And yeah, my history of Jack Lemmon is pretty much Grumpy Old Men, and Grumpy Old Men Part 2, whatever it's called, Grumpier Old Men. That's pretty much what I know Jack Lemmon from. Now, I know that he's a classic actor. I know he's been in a ton of movies. Some Like It Hot. I won't say he was in that, whatever the movie that just got re-released by Kino in 4K. But yeah, this is one I'm excited about checking out again, guys. Special features, you get a 1080p high-definition presentation by Paramount Pictures, an audio commentary by film historian Lee Gambin, and a theatrical trailer. It says, George Kellerman is offered a promotion to the firm's New York City office as visions of Fun City dance in his head. He and his wife embark on a well-planned, fun-filled weekend in New York, but everything that could possibly happen, and a few things that couldn't possibly happen, happens. So, sounds like a fun road movie. Always a fan of those. Excited to check that one out, guys. I know it's a classic. Broaden my horizons, right? That's what it's all about. So this last stack of movies I have here are off of A24. Now, you guys probably heard me talk about some recent videos and live streams that I'm starting to get into the collecting all the A24 movies. And I had a few of them in my collection already. I had the Green Knight in 4K. These are up on the shelf. I had the Green Knight in 4K. I had Hereditary in 4K. And I had El Machina. Is that how you say it? I had that one in 4K. I had a lot of these on my Vudu streaming account, but I had just a very few of these on. I only had a very few of these on physical media. Now, one that I did have, and this was actually in my closet over there. I had the movie Spring Breakers, which is an A24. It's an early one, but I did not have a slip for it. So I actually went out and found the slip, and because I'm trying to get all these with the slips, and I'm finding that to be a little challenging. So we're gonna go through these real fast, guys. The next one I picked up was Enemy, and this is one that I did have on my Vudu account. I have seen, and I'm a big fan of this movie. It's a weird one, but I am a fan of it. And of course, this stars Jake Gyllenhaal, however you say it. And one thing I see about these movies, guys, this is not a boutique line. This is an independent film studio. So you're not going to get a whole lot with these releases, I'm finding out. No reversibles on most of these. You're getting these damn eco cases and just a plain Jane disc. But yeah, this is a fun movie, guys. Glad to finally have it on physical media. Now this one here, the best I could tell, never came with a slip. And so I actually got a slip made for this one. And that should be coming in the mail here real soon. I got a guy on Instagram that will make a lot of my slips for me. And he's making me one for this one here. So that should be here soon. Now, Side Hustle Cinema actually made me a slip for this next one here. And this is the very first A24 title ever made. And that was a movie called A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. And I think I might have shown this one on a previous video, but I went in and brought it back out because I was going through the A24s that I've recently picked up. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting started with these A24s, so I don't have very many here. But I just kind of wanted to, go ahead and show you the ones I picked up in this collection video. The next one I've heard about, I've seen trailers, never seen it, and it's a movie called The Bling Ring. Don't know very much about it at all. Well, I was able to grab this with a slip. And this is also one that came out really early in their line, which I think started, if my memory serves, 2013 is when A24 came out. This next one here has got a really good cast. It's got Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain, Albert Brooks, but it's called A Most Violent Year. I've heard of this, never seen it, don't know that much about it, but I found it for a really good price with a slip on eBay. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do with these A24s, is that when I find them at a good price, I'm going to go ahead and pick them up. So I went in and grabbed this one here because, like I said, I found it for a really good deal. This next one here, I'm a really big fan of. I'm really surprised I didn't already own this on physical media. Again, I had it on Vudu. I've seen this in theaters and probably maybe 2 or 3 times since theaters. Big fan of it, guys, and that's The Green Room. And, of course, this one stars Patrick Stewart, Anton Yelchin, which I think he's the one that passed away a few years ago, right? And Imogen Poots.
Thank God Poot was there.
Probably not saying that right. But, yeah. Anyway, that's Green Room, guys. If you haven't seen this movie, this is a high recommend. This movie is, I don't know why I keep showing the inside of these guys. They're all pretty much the same. But, yeah. This movie here is batshit crazy. It's a lot of fun. It's a really strange role for Patrick Stewart to play. Memory serves, I've never seen him play a character like this before. Play one of the bad guys. But this one here, you get a couple special features. You get a making of, you get a featurette, and you get audio commentary with a writer-director. Yeah, guys, like I said, if you haven't seen Green Room, this is my recommend for A24. All right, this next one I want to say is their most recent release that came out on physical media. And I know Brian Goes Blue said that this was a good time. And that is Red Rocket. I don't know much about it, guys. As you know, we don't get a whole lot of the raunchy comedies we used to get back in the day. Like, 40-year-old versions, stuff like that. I don't know much about this, guys, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting just from the cover. I might be way off base there. But, that's Red Rocket. Like I said, don't know much about it. But, we'll see if we get anything different on the inside of this one being a newer release. And we don't. It's the same old, same old. So, yeah, excited to have that one, guys. I will be checking that one out soon. Now, I've heard a couple other YouTube channels talk about this one here, and a lot of people seem to enjoy this one. I know nothing about it more than I've watched the trailer for it, and that is Zola. And this is a recent release. I want to say like maybe January, February this came out, I'm guessing. But this is one of their later releases from the A24 line. And I did watch the trailer, and it does look pretty interesting. And I guess I'll keep the trend going. You guys let me know down below if y'all watched this, and let me know what your thoughts are. Now that's all I've got from A24. I do have a few more coming in the mail now. And one that I ordered, this one here was a hard one to find. This was like number 3 or 4 when of the releases A24 put out. And this is a movie called The Spectacular Now. Now, I only have the slipcover. This is one that it was hard to find the slipcover, so I found the movie. And then I got the slipcover from a website called Blu-rays for Everyone. If you're ever looking for a slipcover, I would recommend going there first, whatever, because they're not the cheapest. You usually can find them cheaper if you're lucky. If it's not a real big title, you can find them cheaper probably on eBay, or just kind of look around Facebook Marketplace maybe. But last ditch effort, I go to a place called Blu-rays for Everyone, and you can usually find the slip there, but you're going to pay a little more for it there. But so anyway, got the movie coming. It stars Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. If I'm saying that right. So looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I know that Brian Goes Blue says that he doesn't own this movie yet, but I think he said it was a good one. He's a fan of it. So yeah, hopefully that movie will be in soon. I'll be able to check it out. But guys, that's what I got from A24 so far. I got like probably about 5 or 6 more titles coming in the mail right now. I'll include those in a later update video. But guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Again, I always appreciate all the support. And don't forget to hit that like button. I don't know what all it does. They say to hit the like button. So if you can, hit the like button. I guess it helps me out. But I have some fun stuff coming up on the channel, guys. I got some more collection updates. I got some live streams. Me and Johnny over at Johnny's Boutique Podcast. We got something we're working on that should be a lot of fun. That should be coming up real soon. Me and Brad over at Category 3 and me. We got a couple ideas brewing as well. Now, guys, if you haven't been over to Category 3 and me, let me tell you about Brad. Brad's a good friend of mine. If you watch any of our live streams here recently, he's been in them. And Brad's a fun guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's a blast to talk to. He's a really fun guy to have in the live streams. And he started a channel recently. Again, it's called Category 3 and me. And I'll probably link all these channels down below since I talk about them so much. But guys, go over there and subscribe to Brad. We're trying to get him up to 100 subscribers. Like I said, he's a brand new channel. He's a funny guy. He's not your typical YouTuber. But he's a blast. I really enjoy watching his videos. I enjoy talking movies with him. He usually gets me laughing. He's a pretty funny dude. So anyway, guys, thank y'all again for watching. I'm going to get on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. And I will be back in another video real soon. You guys take care.